YouTube? I'm back again today for another game review. Today we're excited to check out Island Hopper from Eagle Gryphon Games. This is for 3 to 5 players. It takes about 45 minutes to play, and it's for ages 12 plus. And in Island Hopper, you are going to be bidding to be the captain of an airplane and hopefully dropping goods off at various different islands with your eyes closed in order to make money, because everyone else is going to make money when you are the captain if you land with goods on their specific island. So they're going to be trying to bribe you, negotiate you, possibly lie to you while your eyes are closed and you're trying to navigate your plane around the island. It's a weird mixture of a dexterity game with a gamery game. But does it all work? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Island Hopper. So first and foremost, we're going to handy dandy rule book. It's 3 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples. Pretty well done. In fact, this page right here is just variants if you're playing 2 or 3 players. So pretty simple rule booklet, pretty straightforward game. I can give you a good feel for how it's played right now. So in Island Hopper, what you're going to be doing is you're going to have cards like these. And other people are going to be pilots who are going to be dropping these pieces and hopefully getting them onto the islands on your cards. If they drop things onto an island that you have a card for, you are going to score that much money. And then also you'll get these symbols right here, which has a set collection aspect, and you can score a lot of money at the end of the game. But let's go over the components, let's get into the gameplay, and I'll quickly make sense. So first we have the island set up. Now I do want to mention the island is very close together right now. They recommend having these pieces 6 inches apart, but due to camera space purposes, obviously that is not feasible. But normally this will take up a good chunk of your table, having all these spread out. And all the different islands have different little logos on them that will correspond to these cards over here, which is a good time to mention these cards right here. So these cards, pretty self-explanatory. If a delivery is made to these cards when you are not the pilot, and that's a huge rule, you will get that much money, and then also you get these symbols over here. All these cards look pretty much the same, except for the fact there are a couple passenger cards, which will look like this. This is how you're going to score a good deal of some of your points if you actually end up being the pilot, who is the person who is going to try and drop off the goods at the various different locations. So for this one, for every island you go to, you're going to get $2. That one, another one. So if you could stack those together, you might be scoring $4 for each island you go to, which can be pretty lucrative. So those are the cards over there. These are the goods you'll be able to drop, and they look cool. They look different, but honestly, they're all pretty much the same. I'm sure that's probably for a future expansion or something, or a special variant, the different shapes on there. Also, we got a little first player token, or the pilot token. This is going to symbolize who is the pilot. Next, you're going to have these round cards over here. At the beginning of the game, you're going to take the last round card, which is the last round card right here, and you're going to mix it up with 2 other round cards and put it at the bottom, so you'll never know when the last round actually will be. You'll know it's going to be the last 3 rounds, but you're not quite sure where it's going to be. Any other components I really need to tell you about? Not particularly. You got a sand timer for what's called the negotiation phase, but we'll talk about that later. Oh, and you have your handy dandy printed on an HP desk jet thing that's supposed to hide your money, even though it barely does that at all. I'll mention that more in the pros and cons. The important thing here is it's going to tell you how much you're going to get for the set collection aspect of the game. But let's get into the game itself. Let's go through the phases and you'll quickly understand what's going on. So first, you're going to get a new round card, and this is going to modify various different things. So for instance, plus $2 on each island with a vital vintage. So how you would do that is you're going to take $2 from the bank and put them next to, not on top of, but next to each one that has that symbol right here. So this one would have this next to it. Now, why are you putting money next to these? Well, that's because if the pilot is able to successfully land on one of those spots, then they are going to get the money that is next to it. So that's how the pilot is going to make some money. So you read off the round card, and then you're going to bid for captain. How this works is it's a pretty simple bid. And yes, you can bid 0. You're either going to raise the bid or you are going to pass, and whoever has the highest bid will pay that amount, and then they are going to be the captain. So what that means is not everyone will get an opportunity to be the captain in this game. You have to bid to be captain, which might be good for you, it might be bad for you. It depends on what cards are in your hand. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to have what's called the negotiation phase, and it lasts exactly 1 minute. And how this works is everyone is going to be talking and trying to bribe the captain to go to a specific island that would benefit them. So let's just say you happen to have 2 of these cards in your hand, so you know it's going to be a good payout. You might be like, hey, look over here, Captain, I got, $3 over here. You really should go over to this spot because while the captain won't get paid money for cards that they have like this, because these cards, the captain can't cash them in on his turn, the other person wants to incentivize the captain going to that spot. So I'd be like, this is going to be an easy spot to go to. Look how close it is. Look, the money there. Anybody else got some money to put on there? Somebody else might put some more money on there. They might say, I'm putting $2 and taking 3, so now it's a 5. And other people are just going to be bribing. And as I mentioned, everyone's going to have different objectives based on the cards they have in their hand. And you're always going to have 3 of these cards in your hand. So once the timer has ran out, we'll put, put $1 here, $2 here, we'll put $10 over here for some crazy reason. What's going to happen is now it is the flying phase. And this is where the captain is going to, one at a time, take one of these pieces from the center, and then they're going to close their eyes and try to land on these different islands just based on, memory. So let's just say I really want this $5. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm actually going to do this. And oh, actually, that was successful. That's what happens when it's super close. So I would get this $5 right here at the end of the round, which is great. And then I would do it again. So we do it 2 more times. Now let's just say I'm trying to go over here and I'm clearly not going to be able to hit it. Well, that's where these tokens come into play. So these are 1-word tokens. They will allow you to spend them, and you only get 2 per round, to say 1 word exactly to the captain to help them or hinder them, potentially, from landing on that spot. So if I was right here, I might say, let's just say that Jimmy's sitting over there. I might say, Jimmy! And hopefully that would let the captain know that he needs to go closer to where Jimmy is and land on the spot. How it works is you have to be completely on the thing. You can't be touching the table at all, which can actually be somewhat difficult. You can also use these to try and mess with people. The other thing is, if you do end up talking without using these, you have to pay a coin to the bank for every word you say. So you definitely want to make sure that you are not cheating. So everyone's going to fly. You get 3 opportunities to fly. If the captain once per round also can spend 1 card that they've earned, because these cards, once you collect them, you earn them. They can spend 1 of these, say they're not going to have the set collection, and then they can, redo 1 of the tiles that they already missed on. So you potentially could do it up to 4 times. Next, you're going to collect the new contracts. So for every one that the pilot landed on, you're going to collect that money. You're going to put it down in front of you, face down, and then you get a new contract from over here, and that does replenish once everyone's done it. And then you're going to rinse, wash, and repeat. So you're going to try to have the most money at the end of the game once you get to that last round card. And that's pretty much the entire game. You're going to do that over and over again. You're going to bid for who's being on captain. You're going to try to bribe the captain. And then at the end of the game, you'll count up your money. You'll count up your set collections, which will be, boom, based on that. Whoever has the most money will be the winner of Island Hopper. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alright then, Island Hopper from Eagle Gryphon Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. First and foremost, 3 to 5 players, very restricted player count. Now, there is a 2-player variant. I did not like the 2-player variant. I did not recommend the 2-player variant, but I'm glad that there is a 2-player variant because some people might like it. But I'm also glad that they didn't put the 2 players on the box because I feel like a lot of people might have bought this thinking it could be played as a 2-player game and would have been disappointed with that particular variant. I said variant a lot there. So big ups to Eagle Gryphon for not putting that on the box. Component-wise, the components are very top-notch, except for these glaringly sore thumbs, which are these player age sheets, which feel like they were printed off on a HP desk jet. Like they just forgot to print them off at the factory or something, so they just printed them off in the office. I don't know. They're paper, you breathe on them, they'll fall over, you sneeze, they'll fall over, you bump the table, they'll fall over. They're not very well done. And it's odd, because otherwise the components are top-notch in this game. The big thing that I think a lot of people are not going to like about this game is that it's just a really weird game. And it is. It's just, it has different mechanisms that you don't expect to be mixed together, which I actually personally like. And I'll talk more about that in the pros. But I think when you tell people that this is a dexterity game where you are going to close your eyes and try to drop pieces on islands, and other people might be helping you or they might trying to be hindering you by saying 1 word at a time while your eyes are closed, I think that's going to immediately turn off a lot of people. And I know the overall consensus with this game, and I'm gonna get to this more in the pros, is that everyone I played it with for the most part was like, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Because while yes, it is primarily a dexterity game where you're going to be closing your eyes and dropping things, only one person's going to be doing that during the round, and everything else attached to the game is pretty gamery. Like there's the set collection aspect, there's the bluffing aspect where you might be trying to help hurt the person so they don't land on the island, and I dug that. There's the negotiation aspect where you're trying to, build up like, oh, there's like $12 right here, so definitely go over here. And then it's like the other person's like, yeah, but I know that's probably going to give you a whole bunch of points, so maybe I want to go over to this spot. I liked all the different aspects of the game. I just think that a lot of people are going to write off the game before they actually give the game an opportunity because of how quirky the game actually is. And it is kind of somewhat of a quirky game. Any other cons that I have with the game? Oh, table space. It takes up a decently large chunk of table space because you need to have all these islands pretty well separated. And I have a very large table, but still, you need it a pretty large table space because you're also going to have your little sheet where you keep your money and your cards. So if you have a smaller table, this one might not be for you. Any other cons that I have with the game? No. Moving on to the pros. I was very pleasantly surprised with Island Hopper. This is not a game I would play a lot. It's a game that I'd play every once in a while, and I'd enjoy it, and I'd put it back, and I'd say, yeah, that was a fun, stinking game. So what do I like about the game? So first and foremost, it's just a pure fun game, and I like the different aspects. I like the fact that sometimes you don't want to be the captain, and sometimes you really do want to be the captain, and it really depends on what's in your hand, and also how lucrative the board is, and I like that aspect of the game. I also like the dexterity element of the game. It's really kind of fun when you're when your eyes are closed and then someone says left, and then you're like, wait, my left or your left? And they can't say anything else unless they want to use their thing. And then you're also like, wait, are they trying to trick me? Or are they actually trying to help me? And then someone else might be right. And then you're like, are they trying to trick me? Or are they trying to help me? And I like that aspect of the game. I thought that was a really cool element to the game. I like the negotiation. I like the components. Aside from these, the rules are easy to learn and easy to teach. I would say this is an older family weight game, so if you have kids that are in their teens, I think they'll definitely enjoy this game. But at the same time, I still busted this out on my game night. I actually busted out on 2 different game nights, and both groups had fun with the game. So it is somewhat of a chameleon game. And overall, I liked Island Hopper. I thought it was a good game. I enjoyed it. It's going to be one that I'm probably not going to play too terribly often just because of how off the beaten path it is. But I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, and everyone I played it with enjoyed it more than they thought they would. I don't think anybody actually actively did not like the game. So in the end, Island Hopper is definitely one I can recommend if you're looking for a game that's a little bit on the quirkier side. If you like a little bit of dexterity mixed in with your game, definitely might want to check this one out. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. Flying in airplanes, do you like it? Do you dislike it? For me personally, oh my gosh, I love flying in airplanes. It's the best, especially on super duper long flights. I just got back from Essen, actually, and it was fantastic. On the flight from Madrid to America, I watched 4 stinking movies. All the movies were pretty mediocre, but still, just the fact that I was up there, I was eating food, drinking coffee, watching a movie, and when I was done, I was 4,000 miles away. That's just such a cool concept to me. But let me know in the comments below. Do you enjoy flying? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.